Habib and I live here in the Netherlands. I work for a large multinational company as a manager of quite a big team. I've lived here in the Netherlands for a few years now and I really like living here. I've made so many friends here, which is great, from all over the world, not just Dutch people. So I'm very, very privileged and honored to know them all and to have such great relationships with them as well. I'm single, I'm not in a relationship right now, but who knows, in the future perhaps it could come. But it's still so good that I have so many friends and so many friendships that it just gives me such a wonderful life here in the Netherlands. And I'm quite privileged to have this life here. Really I am. I'm a very, very lucky person, the way my life has worked out here in the Netherlands. And I thank God every day for that. I think there's plenty of time for spirituality in your life. Spirituality doesn't just start and stop by going to a place of worship. And in my case, my place of worship is a mosque. But it's in everything that you do. It's in your dealings with your people. It's the way you approach your work. It's the way you meet strangers. Spirituality can also be like, just a smile to a stranger, I think that's kind of spiritual too. And just, walking in nature is spiritual. All these things are spiritual, but also, of course, I find spirituality in the mosque, when I go to the mosque and pray, or when I go to the mosque for Jum'ah, which is also a very spiritual time as well, because I'm with my community, and that's quite spiritual in itself as well for me as well. So there is always time for spirituality in your life every day. Yes, I believe there is. There is more than what we can see. Definitely more than what we can see, more than what we can perceive, more than what we can explain as well. From not just from a traditional religious point of view as well, where I come from, but also from a scientific sense as well. In that, over 100 years ago, we had no idea that we could break down matter any further than the atom, and now we know that there is more than the atom. So that's why I believe it in both senses. And there's still a lot for us as human beings to kind of discover in that way as well. But I mean, how do you explain a feeling? How can you describe it? How can you perceive it? It's only one thing that one human can express to another, but we can't see it. We can't measure it. So that's why there is more than just what we believe, what we can just see. I believe there is an afterlife when you die. And when you die, the only things you can take with you are the good deeds that you've left behind and the people that you've inspired to go on and live good lives. I also believe that there has to be an afterlife because there's just so much injustice in the world. So I think people who've had a rough time in this life should be granted a better life afterwards. So from a religious point of view, I believe there's an afterlife, but also I just strongly believe that there's just not enough justice in the world. So therefore, I think that there has to be an afterlife. For me, it's very difficult. I mean, it's a little bit of both. I've seen people and their aura just shines, and it's just so nice, and it's just always good and comfortable to be in their company, because they give off such a lovely aura, and it's just so nice, and it's just so easy, and you can just tell. You don't even have to necessarily find out. It's just there. But also, I believe that there's also people who don't necessarily give off a good aura, but they are still good people inside. You just have to find it within them, and you really have to kind of sit with them, find out, learn from them, and see what's inside them. And then eventually you'll find that aura, that good aura that you see in other people that just shines immediately. So it's never so clear cut for me about people's aura. It's I think it's there. The aura is also there to be discovered as well. They are around us. From my religious traditional sense, angels are definitely there. And they do God's work. It's pure commands. They have no free will at all. Demons, we describe them not as demons, we describe them as jinn. And jinn are kind of similar to human beings, and they have free will. Only we can't perceive them, we can't see them. But they do exist. They are amongst us. But they also don't have free will, and they also have to kind of decide their own destiny as well. Destiny, for lack of a better word than destiny, but they are amongst us, and they can do good and they can do bad, just like human beings can. I think and it's just something that we just can't see, we can't perceive, but they are all around us all the time, watching. To me, the question is, do I believe in, I don't believe in necessarily a guardian angel in a sense, but I believe in divine intervention, which you could describe as a guardian angel, in that people who are facing tragedy, all of a sudden they are saved. How? Nobody can explain. And for me, that is definitely a form of divine intervention, where a guardian angel has watched somebody at a crucial time when for sure they were heading towards some form of tragedy. So yes, I do believe that that divine interventions do happen. I've even heard of fantastic stories from friends of mine about such times when they were facing tragedy, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and thought they were done, a guardian angel shows up and rescues them, and God will not let you go before your time, and that is a form of divine intervention in itself. I think they are more relaxed. People who have found spirituality and who are very happy to accept their way, I think they are more relaxed. But there's also something in searching as well. I think some people are never really truly done with their spirituality, and they are continually searching as well. And I think in a sense they're also quite content to kind of be searching as well. Sometimes you can drive yourself crazy though as well by constantly searching. But if you accept that your spiritual journey is something that you're constantly searching, then I think you can be also quite happy as well in that way as well. But I think most people who I've met in my experience who are quite spiritual are very happy, very relaxed, and they just leave everything to God or whatever deity that they believe in, and they are so relaxed and kind of things just work out for them. It's amazing. Yes. Okay, that's the simple answer, I guess. But yes, for me, there is definitely a God, a transcending God as well. I believe none of this is just a happy accident. It's just a bit too much of a coincidence. For me, there's definitely a divine deity, person, whatever you want to call it, God, Buddha, Jesus. Definitely, there is Allah. There is a God that has created all of this, and it's, yes, there is a God. He does exist.